The following show features episodic breakdowns of Jackass, either performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. For your safety, avoid listening to this podcast at all times. Hi, I'm Mikey Aaronworth.
I'm Jason Wellwood.
And I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Welcome to Jackass.
Welcome to Jackass. It's the podcast where we're on a path of destruction through every single episode of Jackass.
We are three lifelong fans of the show, reliving the belly laughs, bad ideas, and broken bones.
Today, we're doing Jackass Forever.
Woo! Hey, Chris, when did this come out?
It actually came out on February. Well, we saw it on February 3rd, which is Mikey's birthday. But it came out February 4th, despite multiple pushbacks and delays. This movie was supposed to come out a while before, but you know what? It just made us want it that much more.
We got it right this time. You know, we didn't report for weeks and weeks on end that it was coming out a month earlier than it actually did. And goddamn, it feels good to be back. It feels like a little time has passed since we visited Jackass Forever, and I was surprised at how fresh everything felt doing the revisit, but I'm very excited today, guys, because we get to really dig deep into this thing. You know, it's not just in our memories this time. We've taken notes. We've sat with it. I'm fucking ready to go. How about you guys?
Jay, I'm not ready yet. I think you're letting Chris off the hook a little bit. I mean, yes, this movie came out this year, but it still came out on a day that exists in the universe. Chris, what happened on the day of February 4th, 2022? What happened this day in history?
How much of a fucking, like, what do you guys think I am? What happened to you 3 fucking weeks ago? I don't know, you were sitting on your fucking ass. Like, fuck off. Do your own research, man. I go back in the depths of history. You fucking listeners need to do your job every once in a while. I don't know. You tell me, what did you do a month ago? You probably went to go see Jackass, so
the thing is, you don't go back in history. You barely have a stat ever on this. I thought this would be easy for you because it was just a couple months ago.
No, man. Fucking they can work for themselves. They fucking remember what happened. I don't know. Was it sunny?
All right, fine.
Fucking rainy?
Okay,
I don't know.
I'll tell you guys what happened. I'll tell you guys what happened February 4th, 2022. Okay? February 4th, 2022. A newly turned 33-year-old Mikey Aaronworth wakes up and regrets the fact that he spent his birthday with his brother who can't seem to get his shit together for these fucking recordings because they went to go see the pre-screening of Jackass Forever. That's what happened on February 4th, 2022.
You know what? I'm surprised.
It wasn't a wonderful moment between brothers. We didn't bond. We didn't, you didn't pull me aside in the car on the drive home after and say, man, Chris, I really had a great birthday. This really meant the world to me.
I did, but that was for you, not for me.
See, he did. Yeah. Well, I fucking obviously lived that up, man. It's been nice. Sorry, Jay. We were, as I was living down memory lane, remembering the compliments that my brother gave me, even though he likes to be an asshole to me on the show.
I love it.
I could barely remember those compliments. The compliments. I'm surprised I remember it but even though my memory is so fucking goddamn good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know,
I tried.
I'm surprised you guys being fucking Ontarioites from Ontario.
No, it's not pronounced Ontarians, Jay. It's pronounced better than people from Alberta. That's how you pronounce it.
That seems like a pretty fucking stupid way to pronounce it, but all right. Listen, guys, here I'm surprised though. Like in your own, the nation's capital, here we go. The police, they said in a tweet, actually, well, some lady said, it's not important, but Ottawa Police have instructed hotels throughout the city not to rent out empty rooms. The government has bought up all the empty rooms to stop anyone from coming to the capital because apparently the truckers were coming into Ontario and coming and jacking off on all the bedspreads in the hotel rooms and they're just getting sick of it.
Why couldn't they sleep in the back of their fucking cab?
Never use the extra blankets in a hotel room. I swear to God, it's a death trap.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Hey, speaking
really
of getting covered in cum, you guys want to talk about Jackass Forever? I do.
I would love to.
All right, let's do it. Now,
guys,
what?
For the intro, I normally there's title screens.
Mm-hmm.
Like they title these different sketches, and we never really had that for the intro, but I did come up with my own name for the intro.
Okay.
Are you guys ready for it?
I cannot wait.
There's a lot of alliteration, so it might be hard for me to mumble it in my mouth.
I'm more excited for when you have to explain to us what it means after you say it.
I decided to call this intro the pontification of the perfection and plight of Pontius's perfect penis.
Wow.
It's not bad.
All right.
It's not bad.
Pretty proud of that.
It's not bad. I'll take it.
Did not expect that. Wow. Right. No pushback or nothing. That must have been fucking goddamn good.
Well, I'll say this, guys. This thing, it kicks off with quite a bang here. You gotta love the movies because they always go all out on the intros, and somehow they always seem to top themselves. Now, it's arguable. Everyone's gonna have their favorites, but watching this a second time, I really felt like I was impressed. I gotta say that. I was impressed with how well put together it was. You see a lot more of the detail the second time you see it. This is really well done. Let's talk about it. So we get a shot of a model city of New York. Man, beautifully well put together. I'm convinced. It's like I'm there. I swear. Cinematic here, just cinematic as hell. And
so you mean, Jay, when you say it's like you were there, you mean the cops are yelling at you, put down the child, stop causing so much of a scene. That child is not yours. Please leave him alone. Is that what you mean when it means you say that it feels like you were there?
Hey man, that kid was possessed. That kid was possessed by a demon.
I was the kidnapper.
I was doing everyone a favor, trying to get rid of the child because, yeah. You ever seen Ghostbusters? You want that shit to happen again? You're welcome, New York.
I'd rather it doesn't. Yeah, you're right. You know what? Yeah, you abduct all the kids you need to prevent Ghostbusters from happening again.
Yeah, or any Ghostbusters sequels. We don't need any more of that shit. Cut it out. Cinematic as hell, though, like I said. They really got the cameras down. You can tell this is shot in 24 frames per second, baby. Cinematic. But why did it feel so much more uncomfortable watching the giant penis come on screen at home by myself than when I was in the theater just full of people? I don't understand why. Like, I had no problem with it.
Because you started masturbating?
Well, everybody was. I thought it was socially acceptable. Like, at that point, people were starting to take the masks off, and I think they just kind of connected one to another, and it's like, hey, masks off, pants off, what's the difference?
That's a good point.
True.
But yeah, I don't know.
You can come into your mask and fucking throw it away because that shit's useless anyway.
Okay, all right.
Jesus Christ.
So this giant Pontius penis is terrorizing the city. They've got it. If you haven't listened to our initial recap, I'll break it down real quick again. Pontius is painted up, at least his wang is painted up like a big green Godzilla monster, the balls and all.
Which, Jay, quick question when you mentioned that. Mm-hmm. You're like all, into effects and stuff and things.
More audio.
Or is it just audio?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I am now.
Same.
I wasn't before.
One apple's the other's potato,
Right.
What? So, one apple's the other's potato? Okay,
yeah,
I get it.
I eat raw potatoes.
You get what I meant there.
Time. Yeah.
But for real though, if his penis was painted green, how did they green screen him out?
They didn't green screen him out.
No, 100%. I was really focused in on this. Like, they show the straight up thing and you just see the dick. You don't see any body. So they did a green screen in the background, or they edited it out somehow, but why wouldn't they do a blue monster and then green screen him?
There's a moment. Well, they didn't do a blue monster because Godzilla is green. I think that's the easy answer to that.
Can you do blue screen?
You can do whatever screen you want. Green is just the easiest one
okay.
because that's the color that is found least in most other scenes. So it's easiest to pull that color out. But there's a scene like in the middle of the intro when there's like the loud music and the bum 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 bum, and it's all exciting, and then it cuts to like no music. And it's Chris Pontius and Spike Jonze just speaking like logistically about how to properly frame his Godzilla penis. And that to me is art. That is like the fact that they take away this moment of like high intensity Godzilla penis to just them being like, well, I think you have to lean at this specific angle. Otherwise you're going to be caught in. Like, that answers your question for you. How the fuck are they doing this? They answer it for you by cutting to it in the middle of the chaos. Yeah. And that little break is hilarious to me.
Oh, it's so good, man. It's so well done. And they only do it once or twice, but to good effect. And I got to ask Chris, I was almost wondering, this big green monster and all, maybe this was your friend from last week. I was getting a little confused.
His friend from last week.
The guy you painted green when he fell asleep. At that party that one time.
Look at Jay being so funny we don't get it.
That was basically one of the nut sacks of Pontius' head because he's bald headed.
So if you haven't seen Jackass Forever yet, I don't know why you're listening to this, but picture that you posted that on Instagram, did you, Chris? I didn't check.
Not yet.
Post it? Not allowed?
No, I just posted in our group. I didn't get permission yet.
All right, I was just going to say.
I'm still working on it.
It was a nice match, the shade of green. That's all I wanted to say. Nice match, 1-to-1.
Did you guys notice before? Because Jay, you did a good job of describing kind of the scene that they show of like the model New York mixed with like actual actual cafes and this and that. And that's what they cut into with the scene. They show actual human beings going nuts and then showing Pontius's nuts from close up to make it seem much larger. But before they do that, they show a scene where there's a cafe, and there's in the middle of the cafe an old man sitting there who like really stands out. He's so distinct in the way he's there that I literally thought when I saw him sitting in the middle of the cafe, that was Johnny Knoxville in old man makeup. And then they show him again and it turns out it's not. But I'm like, how weird of a human being do you have to look like for me to see you? And my first thought is that's Johnny Knoxville dressed as an old man. And no, that's just what you look like on a day-to-day basis. I feel bad for that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad for him too.
The other person I feel bad for is, what? And this happens in like every scene that you have, like there's a massive, like a disaster movie and like a city is going into chaos. Around the corner, when the chaos is first erupting, one person is always dressed up in tennis gear for some reason. Got a tennis racket with like a headband on their head. There's no tennis court in the middle of New York City. Where is this guy running from? Where, how does everyone like in every single scene?
Well, this was in China, obviously.
What do you mean?
The fucking intro was in China.
What are you talking about?
It wasn't New York City.
It was New York City.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, wasn't it? It was China.
Yellow taxis.
Why do they have Asian subtitles up there?
Because it's supposed to be like a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
But there's like yellow cabs, like New York yellow cabs.
Yeah.
You don't think they have a yellow cab in China?
No, Chris, that's racist, first of all. They're just called cabs out there.
Christ. You guys, I'll let you off the leash. This is what happens. Chris is going to need a minute on that one. That might have been the
best joke I've ever heard of my life.
You know what's the funny thing about the joke is that you just kind of like set yourself up for that.
100%.
Because I'm not racist like Mikey is, so I didn't see it coming at all.
Listen, guys, I gotta say, while Chris cools down on that one, this is it's well put together. Speaking of the subtitles on screen, this is where you start to see the intro of the cast. Everyone gets a name and then the subtitle on screen as well. And it starts with Johnny Knoxville. He's in like a control room, right? He picks up the phone and he's just terrified. Some bad news has come across the line. That's when we get the reveal of the big green monster. Then you start seeing the guys one by one. The first one we get to see first up is SteveO doing a poo cocktail. He gets goes into the porta potty to hide and it gets knocked over. Now, I got to ask you guys, do you think this was real though? Like what's the percentage chance here this thing was real? Because the poo looked... I mean, it looked like, you know, what you would imagine that would look like, but there's no way he's doing that just for the intro. You know, I gotta think it was fudged.
I think it almost looked a little too good, to be honest. Yeah. Like it looked too did they lift him up in the thing and then it almost cuts and then there's poo on him? You know what I mean? It wasn't like you didn't see the poo coming out of the toilet. It was like he was flying and you could tell he obviously was in a porta potty that got shooken up somehow. Yeah. But then all of a sudden the poo's all there. So I
don't think it was real poo. I think it also like it felt like it. I agree, Jay. That was the end scene of Jackass 3 pretty much was like him getting slingshot in the porta potty. Like that's not what you start Jackass with. SteveO, one thing you got to give to him. He's become a great actor. Like he sells these stunts so well now. And I think that he does a good job of pretending like that's the worst thing he's ever done. But I think everyone knows it's like a wink to the camera. That's not actual shit. And it's kind of fine. Yeah. Just like when Dave Englund and Wee Man are on the top of the movie theater thing, there's the explosion. Like we all know that's not real fire that's engulfing them. That there's a lot of CG involved in that. You guys, you know that there's not fire engulfing them as they're getting blown off of the top there.
No, I don't know, man.
Come on, Chris.
Agree to disagree. Listen,
when in Rome.
But I do like, you know what I do like is there's one little moment here, like, and I know we're spending a lot of time on the opening scene here, and for something we're not even reviewing, that may seem excessive, but there's so much going on that I feel like we have to spend this much time on it. Right. There is one moment that I want to draw attention to, which is that Danger Ehren gets tackled into a fruit stand, which to me was kind of like a nod to the football folly scene from season 3 of Jackass. It was nice. I like that.
Yeah, no, good point. I forgot about that, but it was a nice little nod there. And you're right. Like they just keep coming. We got Preston in a dino costume. He's kind of looking similar to the big green monster. So because the army has just arrived on scene, led by Johnny Knoxville here, they light that motherfucker up. he's just down on the street, and did they shoot like a big cannonball at him? Was that what that was?
Yes, it was a medicine ball. It was a medicine ball.
Right.
But with CG
was it
making
just me,
it
or
look like it was on fire.
Was it just me, or did Preston look a lot slimmer, or is now Zackass the new bigger boy? Because like when he rolls in, I was like, yo, Preston's not looking like as big as he used to look. Or is it just you get used to seeing a new heavy dude on set?
I think Preston is probably as big as he was. I think he's a little bit older, so his skin. This sounds. I'm not making fun of anyone, but like I do think maybe his skin's a little bit less firm, so everything. He's not as round.
He's straighter to the ground.
Yeah. Seriously, but also Zackass is enormous. Like he's fucking enormous, and he's gonna make anyone look small next to him. Yeah. The one thing I want to draw attention to, obviously there's a lot of cameos in this scene. You've got Aaliyah Shawkat, who's the one who closes the door on SteveO. That's maybe from Arrested Development. Tyler, the creator, is one of the army men in and among the army men. You also have Tony Hawk. Obviously he's there. He's one of the people who gets sprayed with the cum.
Yeah. You see how he was dressed too though, right?
As like a crazy 80s style skater?
That's how he used to dress when he was a kid, when he was McSqueeb, right, Chris?
Amazing.
So I got that right? McSqueeb?
Yep. Did anyone just watch that brand new Tony Hawk documentary, Till the Wheels Fall Off?
No.
It just came out. It is fucking incredible, man. It's like, it's a good one. It just, when the people are that passionate and that good about something, it's like they won't quit. It means too much for them, even though they're paying their toll on their bodies and shit like that. Like we always sing vert ramp. It's not as crazy as street skating and this and that. But when you see the toll and how fucking tough Tony Hawk is, like I always liked him and respect what he did. But like I've always been a street skating. I was always like about that grungy kind of aspect of skating. And like this documentary just shined a whole new light on it. Really highly suggest it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd love to see a parallel too to Jackass. These guys get beat up just the same. Mikey, you were saying something 100%. About the cameos there, though.
No, the last cameo was the Tony Hawk one that I wanted to bring up. I'm sure there's other ones. Hayward, a football player who I don't know, is the one who tackled him.
He's the guy that hit him, yeah.
Yeah. But the Tony Hawk one is the one that, like, after, and I'm sure, Jay, you're going to lead us into it, when Pontius' dick starts coming on everyone, which actually, I guess let's get into it. I think that was too much. It's too long, too over the top. I didn't actually like that part of the intro. A little bit too on the nose. But when Tony Hawk is kind of like covered in cum and looking really sad, frame that fucking photo for me and put it on my wall. That is it again. Art. Jackass is art in so many, like they've never understood what to do in terms of like framing shots and giving you the visual that you deserve as a Jackass fan better than they have in Jackass Forever.
We just talked about how that was Tony Hawk dressed up like he was when he was like a young teenage boy. Yeah. So what you're saying is you want a young teenage boy covered with cum framed and put onto your fucking wall?
Listen, I understand that sometimes there are things
the mustache is fucking enough, man. Like you're baiting yourself out way too much. Either shave that shit off or fucking cut those comments out, man. I still want my brother. I still love you, even if you have problems.
All right, guys.
We'll get. You're right, Mikey. You're right. I got nothing to say. You're right.
Let's give Mikey a minute to just think about what he's done. And in the meantime, let's introduce the newest Jackass cast members who, right before the big cannon goes off, we've got Jasper and Rachel Wolfson side by side, Zach Holmes, Poopies, and Eric Manaka. Everybody gets blasted. And there's just a scene there at the end where everybody's lying, all the soldiers in the ground, motionless, in that pool of white, and it is just like, it's such a mixed bag of emotions. It's like you just watched the end of a World War II movie, like the giant battle, but there's like a nice donut glaze over everybody.
I wonder if they used the pig cum.
And no, there was too much. That could not have just been pig cum, especially because Eric Manaka has it all up in his mouth. Like he has like, I don't understand. When he coughs the cum out, he does it like 4 times. It must have been in his lungs. I don't know how he gets that much out of his mouth. He goes like, "Bleh," and it's a full mouthful. And then he breathes in, "Bleh." There's another full mouthful and then one more. It was, he committed to the bit on that one. It was impressive.
Yeah. You want to get that framed on your wall too while you're at it?
Yeah, just like other teenage boys coughing up cum. Just frame it on my wall.
I like the end of Knoxville here. He's trying to bargain with Pontius's wiener, and it just straight up squishes him against the glass of like a subway stairwell, and you just see his head pop and just a blood.
Do you think that was CGI too, Mikey?
Yeah. No, that was real. That was because they talk about how Knoxville had 2 concussions in this one. A lot of people, a lot of people think one was from the treadmill, but no, it was from getting squished by Pontius's penis.
And we can't leave it there. I mean, the big green monster can't triumph after all. There has to be something out there that could take him down. Well, it's not a Megazord, but it's pretty damn close.
Hey, nice.
It's a snapping turtle. And, when they bring it out onto, and I think I mentioned this in our initial impressions episode, where when they bring it out, it took me a couple seconds to go, oh, a snapping turtle. Cool. And then you kind of realize what's 100%. About to happen. And when the snapping turtle bites Pontius, it cuts back to the behind the scenes frame of, you see Pontius standing there and there's no more effects or anything. But I noticed that when he gets bit, he has that same expression that he had when they did the mouse sock puppet at the start of Jackass
100%.
He's not really in pain. He's like kind of enjoying it almost.
I think he's a little bit of a sadist. He kind of likes it.
Yeah. He liked the ping pong thing, that's for sure.
Yeah. He's saying, he's like, it doesn't hurt. I bet you it hurt him so much and he loved it and was ashamed to admit it.
That's okay. Never be ashamed, Pontius. And what an intro, guys. I certainly wouldn't be ashamed of that. I got to ask you before we jump into the very first stunt of this movie. Out of all of the Jackass intros we've seen so far, we haven't seen 3 yet, so I guess we leave that out until next time. 1, 2, or forever. So far, what has been your favorite Jackass movie intro?
I got to say this one.
Yeah.
It was so different. The other ones, I mean, the shopping cart they were on there with the explosions and Jackass one, that's pretty cool. The bulls of the other one, but like Mikey was saying, and I didn't want to believe, but he's kind of brought up some good points about the CGI of certain aspects of that. This was way more creative. This had way more of just like a different approach. It was just so unique compared to it. And I don't know. There's something about this one. Whether it was the people behind us just being so mortified that this thing started off with a giant dick, which made it so funny
Chris,
to me.
Explain what you mean by that.
Oh, yeah. In case you didn't listen to the our recap of the original movie.
Can we just say before we move on that we did have the initial recap episode that came out like the week that actually the day after Jackass came out. We talked about some of these stunts. We said some specifics. If you heard that, thank you for listening to that. We're getting into it again. We're going to repeat ourselves a little bit. We're going to say refer back to it, but just understand that if you haven't heard that, or if you have, this is going to be a standalone episode. So we're going to be talking about some of the same shit this time again. Chris, go on.
But yeah, these young guys who basically didn't know what Jackass was. Like, it was so hard for us to believe. They're right behind me and Mikey, and we're sitting there chuckling like the veterans. We're here, like, we fucking do a podcast on this shit. Like, we're OGs in the game, And they were testing each other out. Like, they didn't know if it was cool to laugh at a dick. You know, like they were really uncomfortable about this. So their uncomfortability just made everything so much better for me when I was watching this movie, because you just hear them going back and forth with each other. And, after a while, they kind of sussed each other out and figured out everything was okay. And they started to get into it as well. But to have it start off with this, they're like, what the fuck did you bring us to see? To the one guy that seemed to know a little bit more than the others. So it was just all around. This was definitely my favorite one.
Uncomfortability, the worst way to say discomfort, but I understood what you meant. I think that I loved this intro. I really loved this intro. I think in terms of like actual idea fleshed out and quality, this is the best one. But I have a soft spot for Jackass, the first movie, because that was the one that laid the groundwork, that said, we need to start off with a bang. That doesn't happen in Jackass, the TV show. That started with the movies, saying like, we need a big budget, enormous opening scene. This is what we need to do. And it was the shopping cart. It was just everything made bigger. That was the thesis statement of the intro in Jackass, the movie, the first movie. They nailed it. And because of its relative simplicity, I think it kind of works better in a way, even though I fucking adore this intro. I think it was amazing, but there's a sentimentality and a simplicity to the first one that I think worked a little bit better.
Yeah. I think I'll be short and sweet on this, but if I was basing it off nostalgia, it would be the first one, hands down. But now that I've seen it recently, I actually do like this one better just for the extra effort. And they learned over time how to make these better. But the first movie will always have a soft spot in my heart for seeing that in the theater the first time. And that intro just sticking in my mind ever since. But I got to give them props for going the extra mile here and really making it entertaining and fun.
And props for impressing us. Like they've done so much with the intros, and this one came out and just did something no one expected. That's very fucking hard to do when everyone's expecting to have their mind blown and you still manage to blow their mind. That's very well done on their part.
You know what's crazy too? Nobody really talked about Jackass #2 and the bull running, which is in a way like that's more of a stunt than any of these intros are. Yet it kind of, I don't know, it's almost forgettable for some reason, which seems really weird to me. Like it's the one I think of last. You know,
I agree. Because of CGI. Yeah. I think it's because of the CGI.
Oh, we're going back there. I shouldn't have fucking brought this up. Listen, maybe we should just move on. We got some stunts to cover, shall we? Now, this movie doesn't start off with a bang, at least I wouldn't say. And in a way, I'm kind of glad they didn't, because it's been so long since we've been back to Jackass in theaters. I kind of feel like I like that they did something that was just a good reminder of the roots of Jackass. This is, of course, the human ramp. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but back in the late 17th century, you know, when the chaps would get together to go skating, they only had planks of wood back there. They hadn't figured out supports yet. So it was commonplace to use your friends to support ramps when you were out skating. So that's actually the history of how this originated. Jackass is kind of piggybacking off that, not to take the credit away.
Hey, Jay, if we're talking 17th century, let's be honest, they weren't using their friends as ramps. They were importing friends from other countries and using them as ramps. Let's be honest.
Care to elaborate, Mikey, or should we move on? Okay.
No, I do not care to elaborate.
I probably shouldn't get into that. That's listen, guys. SteveO gets asked.
Are you in trouble just for laughing?
SteveO asks how it feels to be on set 20 years later. Before we get into it, and he makes a comment about how he still looks the best out of everybody in the group. I don't know if
he's
you guys
not
would
wrong.
agree with that. Would you take
He's
offense
absolutely
to that?
not wrong. He looks fucking good, man.
Yeah. What about Pontius? Yeah. Pontius, your boy, though. I thought
Pontius looks good, but Pontius has something's happened to Pontius. I love Pontius. But there's this weird, like, 1,000-mile stare in his eyes that he has when he's telling stories. And he kind of does this weird blinking thing where he's like,
he does do that a lot.
I don't know what it is, but there's something's been taken from Pontius, and I don't know what that is. I feel like SteveO seems to be the most with it member of Jackass. He's aged so gracefully, which is
the
crazy.
only one that's sober.
Well, I guess that's what it is. Yeah. Which is, it's nuts to think that he was probably the hardest into that scene, like the drugs and the alcohol and whatever. And he seems to be the most put together person. Like, fucking good on SteveO, man. I just love him so much. I love him more, him being who he is now compared to who he was before. I think he's just shown so much more ownership over his life.
The one problem about it, like, I can't handle about him these days is, like, he forgets almost who he was. Like, he's so calculated, and he wants to get this mainstream success nowadays so much. Like, I get he's working on his, he has his podcast. He's trying to, like, clean up his image. Like, he really wants to be able to make that money, because I guess he really didn't make much money throughout the process or blew through it all.
Yeah.
But he's, like, just appealing to, like, the most, like, liberal cuck society possible. Like, he's just really playing into that fucking role. Trust me, I listen to every episode of his fucking
cuck
podcast.
Society? What?
Yeah. Just like the pure, the LCS. Super left, I'm so friendly about everything. Like, I'm open-minded about everything, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but just, it's like he's pandering to it. He will not say anything on a political stance that's any bit edgy anymore. And it's kind of like, dude, you're fucking SteveO, man. Like, people love you for being fucking who you are, like being a crazy guy, and trust. It's just, to me, it's like, he's gone so far this way. It's it's hard for me to. I just that's
that could just be the this is, we don't need to get into this, but, like, that could just be the person he grew into after, like, not
I just like the other one. I like the other I don't give a fuck attitude a little bit more.
And honestly,
personally.
I do understand some of that where like that is, it's SteveO. He we didn't watch Jackass because it was a group of guys taking care of themselves. And when someone, I get that. I do understand that.
But we got to say cheers to SteveO for getting clean though. And doing his
100%.
It's fucking awesome.
And he's definitely a better version of himself. But you know who also really want to cheers to about this sketch?
Who's that?
His poopies. This is the first time we get to see Poopies really come out. And you know what? Poopies, good on him for having the bowels to fart on Johnny Knoxville when he was on top of him. Because he's a new guy on the fucking scene and he's fucking on top of Knoxville and rips fart on him. A lot of people that are new. So the most interesting thing in the Poopies episode they were talking about, so much of the stuff in this movie, including this sketch, was from the test shoot when they flew in a bunch of people that they were on the short list to be on the new movie. So this was actually one of just the test shoots, and they decided to put it in the movie. So this is literally the first day shooting with all these things, and he has the balls to fart on Knoxville.
Because apart from the fart, which I think you guys might not like me for this, you guys loved the scene in season 3 of Jackass where Knoxville's cousin farts. This to me is the most iconic fart in Jackass history.
I think so.
Poopies farting
I agree.
on Johnny Knoxville is such a power
passing
play.
Of the torch.
It's the passing of the torch.
You guys, okay, wait a second though. Are you sidestepping Johnny Knoxville in old man makeup farting baby powder onto a sleeping what's his name? Jeff Tremaine?
No, that is the most iconic fart in Jackass history.
Okay,
that's one of my only 10s out of 10.
Good point.
Yes, thank you.
The fart went poof.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
I forgot about that.
I didn't like that one as much as you guys did. I still think this is the most iconic fart, just in terms of what it means. It's the fart that launched 1,000 shits.
Did what now?
Well, Helen of Troy was the face that launched 1,000 ships. I think Poopies was the fart that launched 1,000 shits.
He gave everybody diarrhea.
He gave everyone diarrhea. But apart from that fart, I think Poopies looked pretty
Can you
nervous
stop
the whole
saying
time?
that? Jesus Christ.
What?
That's the second time you said apart from that fart. And,
sounds great. Why wouldn't I say that as often as I get a chance to? You think I'm going to wake up tomorrow and have an opportunity to say that? Not a chance. I'm going to say it as many times as I can on this podcast.
You're probably right.
He looked kind of nervous apart from that fart. And that makes sense to me that this was some of the test screenings because he seemed to kind of be like questioning himself. But I think if it weren't for that fart, maybe he wouldn't have aged that well in terms of the eyes of the Jackass crew.
Well, the other interesting thing that ties into that whole the test filming thing is you'll notice this, and I'll bring it up as we go along instead of talking all at once. But the two jumpers who jumped on these big ramps that were consisted of Preston and Johnny Knoxville and Poopies, for example. The bike guy was he's actually a skateboarder, Dave Gravett, and the skateboarder is a skateboarder, Nick Marilino, and they were part of like the show, which is probably culturally one of the most important things in current skateboarding history, called King of the Road, which was produced by Thrasher, where they basically get teams of skateboard teams. And they would have to go through and complete all these challenges. Random shit like make out with 10 fucking chicks, do a backside tail slide down this fucking stair set, et cetera, et cetera. And it was like one of the greatest skateboarding shows ever because it really captured what the essence of that grittiness of skateboarding. And Jake Phelps, the editor of Thrasher, passed away. And he was like such a big proponent of the show. And they just never continued it. And it just crushes me to this day that they didn't honor his legacy by keeping the show going. And Nick Marilino and Dave Gravett were like two of the biggest staples on that show. So I bet you that with the Jackass skateboarding ties, they noticed those guys of how wild and reckless they were. And were like, maybe they were supposed to be on the test shoot as well, but just didn't make the final cut.
Well, I think Nick Marino actually shows up later in the movie as well. He's not like a member of Jackass.
Him and Dave Gravett and Jaws, another guy from the same show. You see them multiple times, and those were all the stunts that were part of this first test day shoot. Cool. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think they were there for the test shoot to be potential new Jackass members, but they were obviously chosen instead by the new current cast.
Well, one of the other new Jackass members obviously is Zackass, right? And he kind of takes the final scene on this one, right? You've got Preston Lacy lined up, you got Johnny Knoxville laying down, Poopies laying down. They make an enormous ramp, and Zackass the 400-pound man is going to take a motorcycle off of it, which is nuts. I can't believe it worked. I can't believe the ramp didn't break. I can't believe someone's ribs didn't break. It's crazy that this worked out. But here's the question I have for you guys. Zackass takes the motorcycle off the ramp. And you guys are going to think I'm joking when I ask you this question, but I need you to consider it honestly and earnestly. Apart from when he's on an airplane, has Zackass ever been as high off the ground in his life than in this scene? Has that ever happened?
Knowing his history with the stunts and shit that he pulls, it's possible, but
it's got to be in the running.
Unlikely. It's definitely in the running for sure.
He got air.
Oh, yeah.
He got
legit air. And he fucking bounced and rolled and took a fucking slam, man.
Yeah,
holy shit. He's a tough motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a pretty good stunt. Good to watch. The guys get kind of initiated in, and that's not the entire crew, but you do get to see appearance by a couple of the new guys, and it's fun. It's a good little sketch. I gotta mention too, the fact that this first sketch of the movie starts off with Alternative Ulster by the Stiff Little Fingers was get me smiling in the theater. I love that song. And
I love when you bring up the songs. I'm gonna write that one down.
Dude, this Stiff Little Fingers is such a good punk band. Classic. Yeah, check that shit out. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this one. Unless you guys do, you want to give it a rating?
I'd say let's give this one a rating. Yeah.
Yeah, of the Jackass Forever.
Jay, you don't often start us off. Why don't you start us off with your rating out of 10 of the ramp, stunt 1 of Jackass Forever?
Well, the ramp, like I said, feels good out of the gate. It's a nice little return to Jackass. And I distinctly remember in the theater sitting there and just being happy that this shit was back on the screen. And I didn't really care what was happening at this point, just as long as something was happening. It was just good to be back. But if I have to look at it like, objectively and be like thinking about what made this good or bad, I don't think this is the highest rated stunt of the movie by a long shot. So I can't go too high on it. It's fun though, and it's a good way to get acquainted to the new guys and see the boys hanging out again. Solid 6 out of 10. That's as high as I'll go.
Oh, gee.
It's not a bad stunt. It's just there's better things.
Just hard scoring. Look, I don't think you can separate the excitement that you have from a new Jackass movie starting and this scene being on. They knew that. That's part of it. We've waited 20 fucking years for this, and you cannot separate the sentimentality from what you experience in the stunt. Plus, the stunt was really funny. You get a typical like Preston Lacy, like they thought he died at one point in this fucking stunt. It's great. I'm giving this one a 7.5, and that to me is a middling score compared to a lot of the other stunts in a lot of the other movies. But 7.5 out of 10, solid way to start off.
Yeah, I'm
Chris?
going higher than that for sure. You got introduction to the new members. This is the first sketch we've seen in so long. You had the poopies fart. You had 2 of my favorite skateboarders. Like, you had danger. You had questionability. Are they getting squished? How are people not? Is this, did they think this out? Did they have some kind of mythbuster in there saying that it isn't actually, in fact, going to crush them when he jumps this? Who the fuck knows? But my brain was going crazy and I was fucking jacked up. This is an 8.5 out of 10.
I love it. I'm there for it.
Yeah, they almost didn't even have an excuse not to have a Mythbuster in there.
honestly, they had him on speed dial. We'll find that out later. Yeah.
But hey, guys, I don't know what the opposite of a Mythbuster might be. Maybe a big Dum Dum.
Dum Dum.
Huh? Should we play the Dum Dum game? I think we shall, because this next sketch it's a game show format, which I loved. I mean, you don't always need to go intense and dangerous to have fun on Jackass. This is the perfect example of that. And the concept here, in case you don't remember, is we've got Poopies, we've got Wee Man, and Danger Ehren standing up in front of a crowd of onlookers with Johnny Knoxville behind a set of controls. And he controls these, I guess they're hydraulic-powered, spring-loaded... they're like those flip-flop shoes
on a stick. The fact that they're flip-flops is amazing.
For our Aussie fans out there, thongs.
Yes,
thongs.
They call them.
Yeah,
all aimed directly at the goodies. So the boys have to stand with their legs apart and answer questions. A wrong answer will be a smack right to the nuts. And I love that before they even really introduced the segment, oops, sorry, poopies, my finger slipped. So they had to initiate the new guy. Knoxville's losing it laughing. And if you listen closely, you'll hear Wee Man say, "Dick pain hurts." Well said, Wee Man. Before we jump in and start talking about it, let's just state as well that these questions aren't hard questions. They're not designed to be. I think when you're up there under that pressure and you're just thinking about like dreading getting hit in the nuts, all you need is a 4th grade level question to get your brain really racked. And that's all that these questions are. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. When you guys saw the setup for this, like where were your heads at? Were you excited?
The one thing I just wanted to say was kind of touching on what you touched is they aren't hard questions. My favorite part about this, literally about the entire thing, was how confident and quickly Poopies answered his question and how nervously and well thought out Danger Ehren did the following question. They were both pretty easy questions, but Poopies is like, oh, obviously Sally, smack right in the dick. Danger Ehren's like shaking, like spelling the word. I can't remember. It was like balloons or like something like that. Dumbbell. He's like, D-U-M-B. He's so shook and still fucking gets smacked. It was just, I love the difference in character. Like, one is a veteran. He knows no matter what, you're probably going to get fucked. And Poopies is just like, yeah, that is obviously this person. Smack. Absolutely love that part about this.
Yeah, I think as soon as they established the premise of this one, I was like, listen, nut shots to me, it's vomit and nut shots. And if someone vomits by getting hit in the nuts, you just can't promise me a better birthday. Like, that is just, that's all I've ever wanted to see. And as soon as I know that it's a game show type thing. Jay, you mentioned that. I love that weird 70s game show aesthetic, and the loser gets hit in the nuts. I was in 100%. I think this one was the premise was so great. It was so simple. The fact that they had an audience of other Jackass members watching them gave it that muscle stimulator kind of vibe to it, where everyone's just in there having a good time. There's also nothing better than a stunt where other members of Jackass get to be there and know that they're not in danger, so they just get to laugh their ass off. Like, to see Dave Englund not afraid, great. Love seeing him like that. And we get to see a lot of that in this one. The questions were funny, whatever. The thesis statement of this one, I think, is that Poopies is the dumbest fucking human being that's ever existed. And that's one of the reasons why we love him so much. And he knows it, and we know it. And you kind of have to be that dumb to get involved with these people. But holy shit, 5x5 square, what is the area? And he answers 10 inches around. What the fuck are you talking about? Hit that guy in the nuts right now. Hit him again. It's so stupid, but it's so funny. It's amazing. I loved this one.
This was also on the test shoot day as well.
Oh, was it really?
Jaws was there, who's later features in another stunt, and I think Nick Marilino was there as well. So I'm really starting to piece together that they were really up for the job.
Oh,
and that's why you had a lot of the guys sitting around looking, because they are letting the newer guys do a lot of the heavy lifting, but you also need to see them on screen with the current guys as well and see the camaraderie and the chemistry as well.
Oh, I love that. I think in this one we get maybe the I don't know if on camera in any movie I've ever seen, a better facial expression has been caught than Ehren McGhehey spelling dumbbell and looking at the camera or looking at Johnny to like anticipate whether is it like trying to prepare himself. I was like, that's the best facial expression I've ever seen, until the next question when Poopies is being asked about the piano player on whatever.
Who played
Aaron's
piano
smug
on Elton
ass
John.
fucking look on his face, like, dude, you just misspelled dumbbell, you fucking idiot. Right. You have no right to seem like the smartest guy in the room.
Oh man,
I can't believe you got that right. I would have got that wrong for sure.
100%.
I would have no idea. You wouldn't include in that it's Elton John on an Elton John fucking record?
Yeah, the way the question is asked is like,
yeah,
it's right there in the question. Who played piano on Elton John's album Madman Across the Water? But it's set up to try to make you think that, oh yeah, who was that? But yeah, and he gets it eventually. But I think like what's my favorite thing about this and what I'm hopeful for, if they're going to do like a deleted scenes kind of release or something like that. This feels a little disjointed because Ehren ends up winning, but I'm not really clear on how he won. So I'm hoping there's more questions that didn't make it or more of this that we can see later, because it was entertaining the first time and I'd love to see more, fresh if there was some that was cut. That's maybe a bit of a wish list item for me. I really liked this one. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you guys want to get into a rating on this one?
Yep.
Chris, why don't you start us off? You seem pretty excited about it.
I don't know. I'm trying to fucking yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I like this a lot. But it wasn't the ramp for me. So it still is great. I'm going with an 8 out of 10.
Okay, nice. Jay, what about you?
Yeah, you know what, Chris, I'm right there with you on that one. I really, really enjoyed this. I'm just going to go about a 7.5 out of 10, but I want to be up in that range because it, to me, I think this was better than the first one, although the first one it was good, like I said, good to be back, good to see the guys again, but then when this happened, I was starting to like laugh harder than I had at any point in the film thus far when this sketch came on in the theater, so it worked for me anyways.
Nice. Yeah, I'm giving this one an 8 as well. I liked it slightly better than the ramp. Anytime someone's getting hit in the nuts, I like the theatrics around it. I think that does a lot for a Jackass sketch. So 8 out of 10 for me. Also, one thing I want to draw attention to at the end of this scene, it shows everyone who's watching what's going on, they start laughing and they're like clapping and everything. And Dave Englund, he's in his like typical sweater, like, you know, Dave Englund's old man sweater. Mm-hmm. He wore it in the hardware store dump and all that stuff. All I got to say is, holy shit, he grew into that sweater. He looks like the age of someone who is going to wear that sweater. And he's probably 30 years away from the age of people who actually wear those sweaters. That guy he's aged as though he's afraid of every sound he's ever heard.
He's seen some shit.
It was the plan all along.
Exactly.
And here we are. And, you may have never seen that coming, but neither did SteveO, coming fresh from a rock and a dump in the trailer to a soccer ball launched out of one of those, they use them for tennis practice and batting
throwing
cages.
Footballs.
Yeah. So they launch a soccer ball right as he opens the door and bam, falls down the steps and he's just on the ground in a pile, just laughing. And Knoxville, it was the perfect setup. Like, you can just tell he must have just been sitting there just giddy as fuck, just waiting for SteveO to open that door. And man, what a great quick little segment.
The one thing I'll say about this one, like, you don't realize it watching it because it's the first time it happens in this movie so far, but in this movie, SteveO fucking gets terrorized every time he wants to go to the bathroom. Johnny, great at shooting balls at people's heads, and it happens often in this movie, and we'll see it time and time again. But this was great as a first little experience of that.
Yeah. Guys, you know what I was thinking? That the next sketch we got is going to take some good time to get into because it's definitely one of the forefronters for sure, if not the forefronter of this whole movie. So yeah. I know we didn't get to as many as we might have liked in part 1 of this series. But maybe we should kind of save that as a starting point for next week, is leave us everybody on a little bit of a cliffhanger and really get into that.
Wait, you mean not do Silence of the Lambs right now?
I don't know. Could be a good closer.
I think we end with Silence of the Lambs, and then we move on from there because we've got a lot of stunts to move forward. There's a lot to talk about the intro. I would love to leave us off with Silence of the Lambs. I think that would be a great way to go.
I'm definitely down for that. You were the one that said you had an hour to go. You had an hour, so Chris, I got all night, baby.
Hey, how about this? You shut the fuck up with what I say before we start recording.
All right. Hey, I got to say, before we move into the next one then, after SteveO was getting up off the ground after the soccer ball to the head,
I hope you're about to talk about his glasses. No?
Well, hit me with that real quick, and then
I just think he's wearing the coolest sunglasses I've ever seen. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah.
Okay. Like the way SteveO's talking to Knoxville about like, oh man, I just took like the biggest dump in there too, and he's laughing, and I just had this thought of like, I've seen this SteveO on the podcast. Like, I feel like I've spent a lot of time with him, and it kind of clicked for me. Like, when you used to go to a Jackass movie, it was like you spent so little time, especially in a behind the scenes capacity, with these guys because social media wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
You didn't get to see them being normal dudes. And then I kind of just had the thought, and I have to ask you guys, do you feel like the new world we're in, social media, having access to famous people pretty much whenever you want in some capacity, does social media diminish the magic of having these guys on camera for you a little?
100%. Like, you will never have a Michael Jackson ever again, Like, nobody, he was by far the biggest thing ever, but the lack of access, number one, to the people creates that little bit of mystery and that craving for more of them. And also the mass influx of quote unquote celebrities now. There's so many people are able to be celebrities now because they could just get right to you. They could hit people's niche or do whatever they're doing these days. So there's not like one or two major players, just a whole bunch of just shit celebrities.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. I agree 100%. I think that I think the best thing Twitter ever did was when we did have those mysterious celebrities who we had no access to, that brief period of time where we realized we could see them as human beings. And then we saw them as human beings for a couple of years and we're like, oh, celebrities suck just like all of us. We don't need to see much more of them because the more you see of them, the less cool they are. It's much more difficult to kind of like fabricate and curate an image of yourself when you're expected to give out all of your thoughts all the time.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's still fun to watch these guys screw around and, you know, be together and do their thing. And it still feels special, but I don't know, I just had the thought like, yeah, it'll never quite be like it used to be, and that's okay, but I don't know, just something on the mind, I guess.
Keep in mind, Jay, like that's a good point, but keep in mind, like most members of Jackass weren't active on any social media prior to Jackass Forever. Now it seems like there's a very concerted effort. So our experience of like knowing these guys and then they had their fame, why would they have wanted their fame through Twitter? And SteveO may be the only exception. So when you see guys on screen now, again, I think SteveO being the only exception, it is kind of cool because you do get to see an element of them that even if they were on Twitter, you wouldn't have been able to see before. Now it is like a reintroduction to these people who seem to have gone off the face of the earth for 20 years prior to this movie.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you though, some shit you won't see on Twitter is this next and final stunt of part one. Part one of our Jackass Forever review. This is I'll say this, what Knoxville at first claims is the rattlesnake stunt. It's not quite as it seems, though, is it, boys? So,
no, it's not. No. But do you guys recognize what he's explaining? Like what stunt he's borrowing from to explain what they're about to do?
Yeah. I took that note as well, right? Because he says he's going to take a cookie, set it on the snake's head, and then he's going to try to take it off.
Right. That's Wild Boys. That happens in Wild Boys. It is, you know, when we set out to do this podcast, all I could think was I really am not looking forward to talking to you guys about Jackass. I was dreading it. But now that I've done it, it's great because I have this whole backstory about all the stunts that are coming up. I've got some context for it. It's fantastic. I'm still pissed off that I had to talk to you guys so much over the past 54 weeks, but I'm learning
that's what matters most. So we've got three groups here, guys. Dave and Ehren are together. We got Poopies and Zach, and then the last group, Wee Man and Preston. Seems like logical pairings to me, but it's after this that we find out, as Johnny's telling us, the listener, the viewer, it's all a ruse. They're going to lock the door, turn out the lights, and make their lives a living hell. This is Silence of the Lambs. So Dave looks nervous. Like they haven't even told him the fake stunt yet, and he's already nervous walking into the room.
Dave and Ehren both. They're both already just like, what the fuck are we doing here,
Why
guys?
are we the only two people in the basement now? And then boom, the lights switch out.
But what Jay's saying is that's before they've even explained they're
cluing in that something's not right.
Yeah.
They're used to this by now. Whereas Poopies is walking in the room like, I hope they got some antidope.
Antidope. That's, man, the way he goes like him and Zach going in there, and he goes he walks in, he's like, I hope they got some antidope, or it's not antidope, it's antidote, whatever it is. And he goes to Zach and he's just like, hey, as though he's like cheating on a test, like, hey, what's antidope? And Zach's like, I don't fucking know. You said that. What the fuck? He doesn't say it, but he looks at him with his eyes like, you made up a word. Don't ask me to explain to you what that means. And I've never related to Zackass more because, Chris, you do that to me all the fucking time.
Do you guys remember how I described Poopies after I saw him on Shark Week? This is the first experience I've had with him. We were talking about it on the podcast. I said, Poopies reminds me of like an older, dumber, more washed up version of Pontius. And I think it's so fucking true. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like the me to you, Mikey. You know what I mean? I'm like, you're sharper, you're there, but like I'm a little more hardcore than you. I might be stupider.
I'm not hardcore. Are you fucking kidding me? I kind of see the parallels. I drank a glass of wine as we were recording a Jackass podcast. I'm not that hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But I mean, you guys, I love your banter. I love the back and forth. I love the brotherly love. But you know what?
We don't love each other.
You know what I do love?
Fuck that guy.
We're not that.
Fuck that
we're not that
motherfucker.
close. Yeah.
I do love when you can't afford David Attenborough, so you get low rent David Attenborough to bring out the snake. He's almost got the accent down. It's almost there, but something's a little off. So, they're showing off the rattlesnake. It's a Texas rattlesnake. They're trying to scare the guys, think that, the idea is plant the idea in their head that on this table back here, there's going to be a snake in a case. They just need to remember that. That's it. Because when they come back later and the real stunt is about to take place, they lure the groups in alone, one by one. And just for the viewer here or the listener, you get like this was obviously shot 3 separate times in a row without communication between the groups, but we get to see it cutting in and out of each group's experience throughout the whole. So it's kind of a cool way
it's happening at the same time. Yeah.
As though it's happening at the same time. And so they drop everybody in there. This is where you get Poopies getting a little nervous, talking about the antidote, all that stuff. It's the same room, so they know that snake was there before when they came in. The lights go out, and Chris, you were so right. Like, when the lights go out, it's like a second before that happens, Danger Ehren and Dave, they know something's bad is about to happen. Like, they can just taste it in the air, The lights go out and all hell breaks loose. What I love about this is that we as the viewer get the night vision camera. We can see what's happening. They cannot. It's pitch black in here. And what is the first thing we see, guys? We see Chris Pontius. And describe to me what he's doing here. Because this is amazing.
Is honestly what I think is the most overlooked and my favorite part about this entire sketch.
Hang on. Okay. Okay. You tell it, and then I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
So he's basically doing the Buffalo Bill thing from Silence of the Lambs,
which you didn't pick up on the first time we did this podcast.
That's not where I'm going with this, Mikey. And I didn't, but I picked up on it again as we are fucking doing the review and making notes for once and not just, whatever. Fine, I won't make notes next time. See what the fuck happens.
No, the first time you were like, what the fuck was Pontius doing? He was just in a shawl and doing the... I'm like, dude, it's Silence of the Lambs. Okay, yeah.
But it's clearly so pitch black in this room, they cannot see a millimeter in front of their face. So Pontius being there doing that has zero relevancy. It's just for them to laugh and see him in the background just being there doing a mangina. It means zero to the sketch. Not a single person that was getting pranked had any idea he was there and doing that. And I love the fact that they just added that in for their own fucking kicks and giggles,
Dude, it's great, but imagine being one of the guys who got pranked and watching that back later. Like, he was there the whole time.
He was there the whole time.
Yeah. There's no idea. But that's the thing is, like, these guys are, and this has always been the case, but they just seem to be getting better with age, and even 20 years worth of age. They keep getting better at knowing what is going to play on camera. These stunts and these pranks are not against the person who's being pranked. These pranks are scenes that are being put on for the viewer. So sure, they may not see Pontius doing the Buffalo Bill, but we do. And that's what matters. What's funny about it is that all this shit is going on around them without them knowing. What's funny is that we've seen one person exit the room and hit his face on a frying pan, and knowing as soon as Danger Ehren starts opening the door, that's about to happen to him. It's pathetic fallacy. It's like one of the most basic elements of storytelling. And they're doing this in a way that, like, some dumbass fucking Zoomer YouTube star is going to prank someone and not understand that's what makes a good prank.
Yeah,
this is so good. This is one of the best fucking Jackass stunts that's ever existed,
ever happened,
hands
for sure.
down.
When right before you said when Danger Ehren finds the door, the sheer PTSD and audacity of Dave England to be like, no, that's a trap. Obviously, I'm not fucking going through there. Like,
oh, man.
And fucking Danger Ehren is getting frustrated. Like, all right, you know what? Fuck you. Fine, you're on your own. Smack right to the head with a fucking the pot right away. Like, as he's finishing his sentence, it immediately comes true. And then you got Johnny selling the fucking snake thing when they knock over the snake and they cue the snake sound effects. And Poopies goes, so if we get bit, we die? Yeah. Like, in the most genuine fucking way possible.
He's like, fucking great. We get bit, we die. Awesome.
So we get bit. And he was so genuine about it. He's like, what are we doing here? Yeah. And then Zackass thinking he's getting bit. And then Johnny really playing that whole role. Like, guys, no, seriously, there's a fucking snake on the ground. Fuck, we need to get you out of here. Like, seriously, guys, this isn't a joke. Be careful. And the old guys, like Dave England, would have probably still knew that was still a ruse and still not fucking partook in it. Whereas the new
point. He doesn't even try to do that to the new guys. They don't even tip the snake over to that. Or to the old guys. I didn't even think about that, but they don't even tip the thing over to the old guys. They would have picked up on that.
When they're running Zackass out, he's new. He doesn't understand that they're going to go this far and there's going to be even more to it. And it's just, I love that balance, man. This is just the greatest.
Basically, like as Jay set up, like you've got everyone running around this pitch black thing. There is that initial moment of just like hitting people with stun guns and like rubbing them in the face with like furry gloves, like just weird shit that your mind is going to go 1,000 miles a minute when the lights are off. And that's perfect. You get a scene in this one where Preston Lacy is kind of like backing himself up against a corner in the middle of the darkness. Yeah. And Preston Lacy, I don't aesthetically want to make fun of any of the Jackass members, but objectively speaking, Preston Lacy has aged the most of any Jackass member, right? Like we can agree with that. Like he looks like he's aged the most of any of the Jackass members.
I think England, but yeah.
Maybe England. England is up there as well. But in this scene, when Preston Lacy is backing up into the corner, holding a thing, shaking, shivering to his core, he becomes the youngest member that Jackass has ever had. He is such a little baby boy. Yeah.
It's such a good point.
Yeah. And then you have like moments like that. I think the dynamic between Danger Ehren and Dave England is the best part. One of the best parts of this stunt, where like Dave he's like, Ehren, where are you? And Aaron's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do to help you? And Dave says, I just want to know you're there.
Yeah. Oh man. It's such a great exchange. And I love when he finds the door. Ehren finds the door and Dave's like, he hasn't even moved an inch. He's just been in one spot the whole time. But Ehren finds the door. He's like, Dave, a door this way. He's like, no, fuck that door. There's probably something bad that way.
Literally, he says, fuck that door.
He just keeps going on like, how convenient. Fuck that door. And he's everybody's just getting so frustrated, but it's their exchange, their banter that's just like old friends who've had enough of each other. One of them doesn't want to listen.
There's no moment in this movie or that will exist in Jackass history. Like in the ramp, you have the introduction of the new members of Jackass. In Silence of the Lambs, you have here's the old versus the new, and these are the major This is what a year's or a lifetime's worth of being a member of Jackass does to you. This is what a lifetime worth of watching Jackass but not being a member of Jackass hasn't prepared you for. And I love that separation.
Even when the lights turn on, Dave England has, which I think might be the line of the movie. When Johnny's like, he's like, is it done? Is it done? Johnny's like, yeah, just come over here. It's done. The lights are on. And he goes, I'm not fucking leaving. He's like, I will fucking live here. I will make a new life here and live here. He's like, I'm not fucking going with you. And that's after everything's even done. He is so shell-shocked. It is so fucking awesome.
He aged 3 years in that
sketch alone.
15 minutes. Yeah.
No, I 100%. And I know we got to move on and start to wrap up, but the genius in this sketch too is that there is even a second room planned out. Like one room was enough, but the fact that they thought, okay, these guys are going to escape, but let's just continue to make hell for them. The second room is almost just as dark, and you've got frying pans hanging from the ceiling right under, like right over a big mat that's just laid out with marbles. So you're gonna fall on your
traps on the side if you're trying to use your hands to guide your way.
Yeah, and it's just so funny that. Of course they thought of that. And we talked about it last time in the initial impressions, but when Zach tries to climb over the table thinking there's an exit on the other side of the mousetrap table, like how wrong he was so close to getting out of there. Like you can see the exit door if he had just kept walking forward, but for whatever reason he thought, well, I better go this way. It's like, what's going on in your head? At that point, you've just had enough, that
panic.
You just panic. You'll do anything to get out of that situation. And I think out of all the guys, though, and maybe you guys can give me your rating for this too, but out of all the guys who did the sketch, out of everybody who is on here, I think Wee Man is the unsung hero. I think he handled it the best. I don't remember seeing Wee Man really that scared or bothered by anything.
He's so small they couldn't even find him in there to get him.
Dude, he walks into the second room. None of the frying pans are going to fucking hit him. He walks straight under them.
They could have lowered one.
I bet you they did. They probably thought that out too. They probably had a few just for Wee Man.
But yeah, what would you guys say? Would you agree with me on that? Wee Man? Unsung hero this one?
Wee Man is, I think the fact that he doesn't show up, the fact that he doesn't, like, he's not even featured in this one means he's probably just like too cool for school. You know what he probably did? He probably, as the veteran, knew the snake wasn't in that barrel and just put himself in the fucking barrel and waited there for the lights to come on.
Yeah, like if you're talking about the hero of this, like I'm going not with who did the best job. I'm going with who provided the most laughs, and that's England for me.
For sure. Although here's one of the biggest laughs I had. I don't know if you guys picked up on this one, but it baffled me. This one fucking blew my mind. Jackass makes his way to the second room, which, by the way, as a nod, you mentioned, Jay, you're like, of course they're going to have the frying pans and this and that, but they figured out that formula of having a little button on the stunt, like in the B limo, when they have just marbles and then paintballs. As soon as they walk out of the limo full of bees, they've got marbles they're going to slip on, and then they're going to get shot with paintballs. Just like such a mean addition. Like you filmed the exit, well, here's some frying pans and some mouse traps. Like, fuck you guys. Really mean. But the one thing I'll say about Jackass, he finds that room. He hits the frying pan, falls down on the marbles, and he's sitting on the floor of marbles, and he just sits, he's like, fuck, I can't even find my glasses anywhere. Why do you need glasses? It's pitch black. What the fuck are you talking about?
I didn't even think of that.
That's so true.
Yeah, the things you'll do when you're just in a panic state, right?
Yeah, I mean,
it's amazing, man.
It.
And the fact that they find a way to keep every person in this at a 10 out of 10 in terms of their panic and fear for 3 or 4 minutes, however long this one lasts.
Except maybe Wee Man as to
except Wee Man, yeah.
Well, let's give this a rating.
I think we should. Chris, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, if I could go higher than 10 out of 10, I'd go higher than 10 out of 10. This is as good of a stunt as you'll ever see on any Jackass episode of all time.
Yeah, what more do you need to see? I don't need to see any more. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. This is a fucking genius sketch.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
Jay, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? What are you doing?
This could be the one.
This could be the one, but I'm sorry, Chris. It will not be the one. Not this time. It's a great sketch. Dudes, come on. This is one of the best in a long time. But
what's better? What's better? Name one that's better.
Grass sledding, apart from grass.
How did you know what I was about to say? Fuck, get out of my head. Guys, I haven't given any 10s other than, like, literally this, I'm not even kidding. The baby powder fart was the only 10 I've given. You can see that I need something that needs to be, it's kind of like when you go to a really fancy restaurant and you know, the chef spends hours curating this one tiny little like thumb-sized morsel that is so delicious, so perfect that you couldn't have imagined it in your wildest dreams, yet it's over before it even begun.
Oh, right. So Silence of the Lambs, right, what you're describing.
Silence of the Lambs is a beautiful like 5-course meal.
Yeah, it's like the Mandarin buffet. You get everything that you fucking want.
Yes.
And it's fucking cheap, and it's fucking amazing. I love the Mandarin, and I love this fucking sketch. I have everything you want. You want fucking this, you want this, you want this, no problem.
Well, boys, it's so goddamn good. Trust me, it's so goddamn good. But it's a 9.5 out of 10 for me. It's not there. It's not there, and here's why.
Okay, yeah, tell us.
Here's why.
Tell us why you're wrong.
Okay. Listen, you already know. Okay, let's get the obvious out of the way that I'm a hard marker. I always have been. People are probably raving. People are upset right now. I get it. Maybe people don't really fucking care. That's probably the logical conclusion you should come to. But the reason I feel like it's just under a 10, and don't give me like a 9.5's not a good score. That's really fucking good. But here's the thing. It's fun. This is something that you would want to do with your friends. There's twists, there's turns. I just needed it to have something else to make it. Here's the thing. The best reactions came arguably from, I would say, Dave and Ehren, right?
Sure.
And then you had Poopies and you had Zach, I would say. They'd come in second place for enjoyment factor. But when it came to like Preston and Wee Man, nothing really happened. And I can't feel like that was a missed opportunity. They should have put a different group in there because it felt like I wanted to see all three of those groups go through something and have like the belly laughs. And they did a good job of that, 2 out of 3. But I don't know. I just feel like the only thing I enjoyed out of the Preston group was when he was sitting there shivering. But other than that, like, it was all forgettable from them. And
I mean, Jay, if
I don't know,
there was one thing you could have said that could justify you not giving it a 10, that was actually a pretty fucking solid point. I'll give you that credit. I still think it's an easy fucking 10 out of 10.
That's
but
fine.
At least you had a somewhat justifiable answer.
Well, here's the thing. When I was in the theater, I remember having the thought, oh, this is over already? Shit, I wanted more of that. Like, I was expecting there was going to be more payoff, and I think part of it is because of that, because I was wondering, okay, we saw 2 great payoffs, but where's the third one? And it wasn't there.
Yeah, but one thing you have to keep in mind is that with most Jackass sketches, they film more than what they show you. So their only mistake, I think, is letting us know that Wee Man and Preston were in there in the first place. And if they didn't, you wouldn't have the scene with Preston in it. But they showed you so that you got it. Okay. I think, and I know that you wanted more. I wanted more as well. But this is one of the longest Jackass sketches you'll find. You can't go much longer than this. I think one of the major exceptions would be like Danger Ehren in the Pew Beard, that one, like at the end of Jackass 2.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there are many more that are longer than this one. I think it gives you everything you need. My big thing is, like, I get being hesitant about giving a 10, but like, you gave a 10 to an interstitial, basically, which was the fart, the baby powder fart.
Right.
And like, that is so, and I also get why you give that a 10, but there has to be some credit given to the fact that they took such a big swing on this one. This was like a fucking magnum opus. There was so much coordination that had to go into it. So many diversions from the fact that, like, you got the snake, you got they brought an animal expert in to throw people off the scent. It wasn't just that there was a snake, the animal expert. So people are going to be like, there's something else going. Then they have the scene off to the side. Danger Ehren finds his way out of the main doors and he gets hit 3 times in the head somehow with a soccer ball that Johnny Knoxville is going to throw at him.
Yeah, we didn't talk
Zackass is like, they've thought about everything. To me, this is the perfect summation of what a Jackass prank is. They figured everything out. They fucked the veterans over. They fucked the new guys over. They surprised the viewers. It was, and they let Johnny be one of the guys who was orchestrating it. Like, I could not have expected any more than this.
I think without question, is hands down the all-around best Jackass thing that's ever happened, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I honestly agree.
Guys, we all agree on that, though. The numbers show it. The last thing we gave this high of a rating, and the only other thing, is the poo diaper. That's the only other time this has happened. So don't think that I'm shitting on this. This was fantastic. I fucking love this. But let me just put it simply this way. If I, right now, went and watched the baby powder fart, I would laugh instantly, belly laughs. I would lose my shit if I watched it again, and I've seen it many times.
True.
I think that's one of the few things I've actually rewinded in a Jackass movie and watched again because it was so goddamn funny. If I went back and watched this again right now, I would still laugh, but I would laugh a little bit less than I did last time.
But how much more? I've watched this 4 times already, and I
feel like I could just put the fart on repeat, though, and just, I can't believe this is what we're debating about. This is real intelligent.
To each his own. It is what it is. But yeah, it's a 0.5.
For real. That's me, man. That's what I got to go with. But hey, I think we all fucking enjoyed that, and what a great way to end on a high note. This has been a lot of fun, and the excitement is high. Like, even watching this a second time, I'm still feeling like it's, my first viewing in the theater. That excitement is there. I'm happy to see the guys back doing their thing. There's a really good energy with this movie, I've noticed. I hope you guys feel the same way so far. But
100%.
That will change in the mid part. I have a feeling there's some PTSD coming our way down the pipe. But until we get there, we are going to be breaking this up into multiple parts. We'll see how much that ends up being, but stick with us, because every week you're going to be getting lots of Jackass forever. As usual, though, you can find us at JackastPod on Twitter and Instagram if you want to chat at us. Quick question to Mikey, actually. Now, viewer, listener, as you know, we always do a MVP. Now, are we doing multiple MVPs? You guys want to save it till the end of the movie?
I think let's do segment by segment, and then we'll do one for the whole movie. Because I think this segment, I've got my MVP for this one locked and loaded, and it's Dave Englund. I love Dave Englund in every stunt that he's in this one. I love that he shows up in the audience of the Dum Dum Game. I love how much he came to show up in Silence of the Lambs. Dave Englund is my MVP of this one. Chris, what about you?
It's definitely Poopies. He is in virtually, I think, every single one of them. He even has Oh no, it's a different part of it later on. But the amount of quotable lines he had that just fucking made me burst into laughter. He was all around great, if not the most noticeable person in every stunt, or if the second most noticeable person. He's definitely my MVP.
Nice. Jay?
Yeah, this is one of the times where I'm going to jump on the Chris train and
baby,
it's Poopies, baby. Poopies is a lovable idiot, and I think that's something that Jackass needed. Again, because, you know, you've had lovable idiots in the past. Some have come and gone, but it's nice to have someone in that new crew that brings that sense of wonder and just complete naivety to this whole thing. And that's him, whether you love him or hate him. There's just something fun about watching the Dum Dum Game and seeing him, you know, try his best to come up with the answers to those questions. And there's such an innocence. He's a breath of fresh air, and in any other genre, in any other group, he would probably just be the annoying guy that everybody just wish would, get with the program already. But in Jackass, he's basically a god. So Poopies all the way.
I'm going to make a bold choice for my LVP, my least valuable player of this segment. Love the guy. Don't want to say too many bad things about him, but he had a lot of opportunities to shine and just kind of didn't show up. It's Wee Man. He was in a lot of stunts and he just kind of didn't, you kind of forget that he was there. Guys, he was in Dum Dum Game. We barely fucking mentioned him in it. He was in Silence of the Lambs. We barely fucking mentioned him in it. Yeah. And I get if you're so tough and you don't show a reaction, maybe that means you're like, oh, I can't get me. But part of Jackass is selling it. And I just don't think he sold it in this one.
I'm 100%. That was my pick as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. That's fair.
Chris jumped on the Mikey train this time.
He did. Because we can't afford all these trains. We're going to run out of the budget here. We're going to be careful. I think for me, all in, it's kind of hard to pick a loser. Like I could see your point of view on the whole Wee Man things. He doesn't really do a lot here. That doesn't mean he's not going to do something, you know?
Right. It's just this
for
segment.
That moment. Yeah, he's the minute you turn your back, he's going to do something cool, just much like Homer Simpson learns in the Karate Mafia episode of The Simpsons. Just waiting for that little guy to do something cool. I don't have an answer. That's why I'm stalling, if you haven't noticed, listener. I don't know. I don't really know what to tell you here. There's no one that
actually,
really...
I would like to, I'll give you some time to think. I would like to amend my answer.
Okay.
You know, Wee Man, you did the best you could. Easy choice. Fucking easy choice. LVP of this segment, Jay, for giving a 9.5 to Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
What more can they fucking do for you, man?
Well, as the rules state, you cannot give yourself an LVP, so I won't jump on the Mikey train this time. God knows we can't afford it. I will choose low budget David Attenborough as my LVP for just not giving 110% on that accent. A little disappointed that he didn't show up.
All right, that's a good answer.
There you go, guys. And there you have it. That's part 1 of Jackass Forever. We are very excited to come back next week and do this again. I see some good stunts on the horizon, and I can't wait to get to them with you. But until then, bye. I'm Jason Wellwood.
Bye. I'm Chris Aaronworth.
Bye. I'm Mikey Aaronworth, and this has been Jackassed. Oh, do.
Furnished by Sad Styles Productions.
Get into it.